the verse. So people were blinded with pride over material enjoyment. They do not know anything. They cannot recognize a Vaishnava due to the pride what they have. So after studying even Bhagavatam, that has been given in the previous chapters. So now here, the desire is to reside with the devotee, with the servants, birth after birth. That is a desire. Now Vishwambhar is speaking to Murari Gupta that you have forgotten that you were Ravana. And in this way, hearing Murari Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's words, he regained his consciousness and he began to cry. And what is the benediction he is asking? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told, ask the benediction what you want. You just ask the benediction. Then what is the benediction which he is asking? Let me reside among the association of devotees. Janma janma tumhara ye sab prabhu das tasabar sange yena hayam mora vasa. He is not asking any other thing. He is just asking that I just want the association of the devotees. And also, do not put me in a condition where I am not here, you are not my master and I am not your servant. That means eternally I want to be your servant and eternally you should be my master. Our 25th verse, 10th chapter. Prabhu bole satya satya yehi varadila maha maha jayadhvani tatakshana haila. When the Lord said, I certainly grant you this benediction, and all the devotees, they just said, Jai Ho, Jai. Murarira Prati Saba Vaishnavera Prita Sarva Bhuta Kapaluta Murari Charita. All the Vaishnavas had great affection for Murari Gupta, who was by nature merciful to all living entities. Yete sthana murarira yadi sanga haya sei sthana sarvatirtha Shri Vaikuntha maya. If Murari was associated with any place, that place became as sanctified as Vaikuntha. It is said wherever pure devotees stay, that place itself is Vaikuntha. Murarira prabhave balita shaktikara. Murarira vallabha prabhu sarva avatara. So it's not so easy to describe the glories of Murari Gupta. In every incarnation, the Lord was the dear friend of Murari. Thakur Chaitanya bole, Shuna sarva jana Sakruta Murari Ninda Kore Yehi Jana Koti Ganga Snane Tara Nahika Nishtara Ganga Hari Nama Tare Kariba Samhara. So listen everyone, anyone who blasphemes Murari will not be delivered even if he takes millions of baths in the Ganga. Neither the Ganga nor the holy name of Hari will nullify his sins. So this is a very powerful verse. If we blaspheme a pure devotee, what will happen? Even if we take millions of baths in Ganga, Ganga has a capacity to remove our sins. But aparadhas, Ganga cannot remove aparadhas. Neither Ganga nor the holy name of Hari will nullify his sin. Namno balad yasyahi papa buddhihi. So if we blaspheme a Vaishnava, blaspheme Murari, why Murari has been given as pure devotee of Krishna, the moment we blaspheme, what will happen? We will come out of all our pious accumulated pious things. This pious is the Sukruti, that is the bhakti what we have accumulated. In order to remove the sinful mentality of those proud persons who are envious of the devotees and who blaspheme the devotees while considering themselves engaged in taking bath in the Ganga and in chanting the names of Hari, Mahaprabhu said, if a person knowingly or unknowingly blasphemes a devotee who is constantly engaged in the service of Lord like Murari, and becomes envious of the devotees by claiming to have taken shelter of Harinam and Ganga, then Ganga and the holy name destroy such a sinful person rather than award him any benefit. So one may chant millions of names, but if he has blasphemed a devotee, then no merit will be attained. Even today, the place of Murari Gupta is found in Sridham, Mayapur, in the tract of land between the residential areas of the Muslims and the Hindus. Those proud persons who blaspheme Murari Gupta by expressing hatred for the present pathetic condition of his place, show disrespect for the Dham and cannot obtain any benefit from the waters that have emanated from the feet of Vishnu. The syllables of Lord Hari's holy name, Namapradha, that they have received from their unauthorized gurus, vanquish such people by converting them into the sense enjoyers birth after birth. Envy of Vaishnavas produces such a formidable poisonous effect. Such people commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name, and as offenders of the holy name, they fall into the jaws of death. So very important this statement is, on the strength of holy name, Namno Balad Yasri Papa Buddhihi. One should not commit offenses on the strength of holy name. If such people take bath in the water of Ganga 10 million times, they will not be delivered. This is Shri Gaurasundar's instruction and words of chastisement towards the averse living entities. In the Dwarka Mahatmya, it is said, Pujito Bhagavan Vishnu Janmantara Shatairapi Prasidati Na Vishwatma Vaishnave Chapamanite. Lord Hari, the super soul of the entire universe, is never pleased with a miscreant who insults a Vaishnava. Even if he has worshipped Vishnu for hundreds of births. So Lord Hari is never pleased with such people. See also the purport to Adi Khand 16.169. Murari Vaishyaye Gupte Thara Hridaye Ete ke Murari Gupta Nama Yogya Nahai. Lord Murari resides in his heart, Gupte or secretly. Therefore, his name is Murari Gupta, is quite appropriate. So Lord resides in the heart of pure Vaishnavas, and pure Vaishnavas reside in the heart of Lord. Lord Murari Shri Chaitanya Deva always resides Gupta Bhave or secretly in the heart of Murari Gupta. Lord Murari never resides Gupta Bhave or secretly within the bodies of those so-called Muraris who are envious of devotional service and who are traversing the road to hell by thinking of themselves as Murari Guptas. They only make a show of Lord Murari's present within the heart. But actually Lord Murari remains far from their hearts while inducing them to hanker after gold, women and fame. The desire of Shri Gaurasundar is to chastise such persons. Those who are averse to and bereft of the service of Murari would rather chew bitter nuts themselves than offer them to the Lord. being controlled by intoxicants, they never become servants of Murari Gupta. Those who at present mistakenly accept the author of Amiya Nimai Charita as an incarnation of Murari Gupta with the evil intention of advertising themselves as incarnations of Gauranga gain nothing but offenses. So there are people who do show off in devotional and they fool others. Their habits of chewing the betel nuts, they don't offer the betel nuts to Krishna. Instead, they are intoxicated. They are into intoxication. They call themselves as the incarnation of Gauranga. They advertise the author as the Murari Gupta, incarnation of Murari Gupta. So here the warning has been given by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Don't be carried away by so-called Murari Guptas, who call themselves Muraris. Murari re kripa dekhi, Murari re kripa dekhi, Bhagavatagana, Prema yoge Krishna bodhe, Karena rodana. On seeing the Lord's mercy on Murari, all the exalted devotees cried in love while chanting the names of Krishna. Murari re kripa, Murari re kripa kaila. Shri Chaitanya Raya. Iha yehi shune sehi prema bhakti pai. Anyone who hears the narration of Lord Chaitanya bestowing mercy on Murari attains loving devotional service. Murari Sridhara Kande Sammukhe Padiya Prabhuo Tambula Khaya Garjiya Garjiya. The Lord rode and ate betel nuts as Murari and Sridhar cried in front of him. Only Lord has the power, or he is Bhoktaram. Only he can enjoy betel nuts. We are not supposed to do that. Because though betel nut offered to Lord, we are not supposed to take it. Why we are not supposed to take? Because this is the sense of enjoyment. And Krishna is ultimate enjoyer, he can do it. Even though it is offered to Krishna, somebody gives to us, you can pass it on. But one should not take it. Haridasa prati prabhu sadaya haya mora dekha haridasa valedaka diya. Therefore, the Lord mercifully called Haridas and said, O Haridas, behold my form. Yehi mora deha haite tumi mora bada. Tomara ye jati se jati mora dada. You are more dear to me than my own body. I certainly belong to the same caste as you. Mahaprabhu told to Haridas. Now mercifully called Haridas, oh Haridas, come here, behold my form. I certainly belong to the same caste as you. Now Haridas belongs to Yavana. Now some people may consider your non-Hindu body as inferior to my Brahmin body, but their vision is defective. I say with conviction, there is no difference between your caste and my caste. Rather, your body is superior to my body in all respects. Modern Hindus consider their body superior to the bodies of the Yavanas. Being intoxicated with pride over their respective castes, such atheistic Hindus consider the Lord's devotees born in any caste as inferior. Their process of reasoning is extremely faulty. The material body of an embodied soul who is constantly engaged in the service of Lord may, from mundane vision, apparently resemble the body of low caste person. But such a mentality is offensive. Persons whose bodies consist of blood and semen are eager to establish the supremacy on the basis of their Hindus or non-Hindu considerations. They develop such considerations because they are indifferent towards the resolute worship of Lord Hari. The sinful Yavanas, or the so-called pious Hindus, establish their superiority on the basis of the worldly considerations. Being controlled by such considerations, they blaspheme the Vaishnavas and traverse the path to hell without any tangible gain. So for Vaishnavas, there is no caste. Vaishnavas always are very dear to Krishna. In Chaitanya Charitamrita 4.192-193 it is stated, Diksha kale bhakta kare atma samarpan sei kale Krishna tare kare atma saman. During the time of initiation, a devotee completely surrenders to the service of Lord, and such devotee is considered by Lord as good as himself. Sei deha kare tar chidananda maya aprakrita deha tanra charana bhajaya. And the devotee's body is thus transformed into a spiritual existence. The devotee in that transcendental body renders service to the lotus feet of the Lord. In the Sarartha Darshini commentary on the Srimad Bhagavatam 5.12.11, it is stated, just as a piece of iron becomes gold by contact with a touchstone, the material body and the senses of a person become spiritual in the association of devotional service. In order to exhibit the glories of devotional service, the Supreme Lord, by his inconceivable potencies, mysteriously manifests the transcendental body, senses, and mind of a devotee and mysteriously destroys his false body and senses. The purport of saying mysteriously is that people who are blind to the truth identify a Vaishnava with his previous material designations without realizing his actual identity and consider his body as a mortal bag of bones and flesh, and thus commit offenses at his feet. In the Upadeshamrita, it is stated, Drishtai Sabhava Jaitair Vabhashta Doshena Prakrutatvam Bhakta Janasya Pashet Gangam Basam Nakalu Budbuddha Fena Pankai Brahmaduratta Bhagajati Niradalmai. So, being situated in his original conscious position, a pure devotee does not identify with the body. Such a devotee should not be seen from a materialistic point of view. Indeed, one should overlook a devotee is having a body born in a low family, a body with a bad complexion, a deformed body, or a diseased or infirm body. According to ordinary vision, such imperfections may seem prominent in the body of a pure devotee. But despite such seeming defects, the body of a pure devotee cannot be polluted. It is exactly like the water of the Ganga, which sometimes during the rainy season are full of bubbles, foam, and mud. The Ganga water do not become polluted. Those who are advanced in spiritual understanding will bath in Ganga without considering the conditions of water. Sometimes we see, oh, there is dirtiness in Ganga. There is no dirtiness in Ganga. Ganga cannot be polluted. Even though there may be something lying, but still pure devotee, he doesn't see those things. He knows the purity of Ganga. The moment you enter Ganga, you are purified. There may be some leaves floating, some moss floating. That's all materialistic. Ganga has the power to remove all our offenses. So sometimes Ganga may appear full of bubbles, foam, mud, but they can never become polluted. That is the power of Ganga. In the same way, one should not look at the deformed body of a Vaishnava. If he does that, what happens? Then he will never grow in devotional service. He has to fall down in devotional service. Bhaktanam Sachidanandaha Rupeshwangre Angredriyatmashu Ghatate Ghatate Swanurupeshu Vaikunte Nyatrahascha Swataha. In other words, whether a devotee lives in Vaikuntha or anywhere else, his Achidananda body appropriate for the Lord's service is spontaneously manifested. By the awakening of devotional service, his material body, formed or born of 5 gross elements, transform into Sachidananda. The birth and death of such a body is exactly like the appearance and disappearance of the Lord's Sachidananda body. Those who consider the appearance and disappearance of the devotees and the Supreme Lord to be like birth and death of a conditioned soul who are forced to accept the fruits of their karma, they repeatedly suffer material miseries rather than obtain liberation. So pure devotees, they appear, they disappear. Their appearance and disappearance is transcendental. They should not be compared to the birth and death of an ordinary person. It's very important. If they do that, then what will happen? If they consider a pure devotee to be an ordinary person, then they will suffer the birth and death cycle. And instead of obtaining liberation, their sufferings only will grow. So here we'll stop. Any questions you can ask. Any questions?
Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Mataji, this don't try to act like Murari Gupta. False Murari Gupta.
There are many Goswamis.
Are these
There are
people
many
Sahajiyas?
Goswamis also. There are many Goswamis in Vrindavan calling themselves Goswami.
Okay.
In the
Are
same
these
way.
people like Prakrita Sahajiyas?
Similar.
Okay.
Prakrita Sahajiyas, they are same. All these Prakrita Sahajiyas, what they consider the body of Lord to be made of Prakriti, and they are very Sahaja in identifying themselves as God. Okay.
Okay, Madhu. Thank you.
Any other question?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah.
If someone becomes ecstatic while doing devotional service, and whether it is okay to show it, or how one can hide that in front of everyone?
Ecstatic symptoms are only at the stage of advanced devotees. Some ecstatic symptoms come even at the bhava stage. At the stage of even anartha nivrutti also, some ecstatic symptoms come. How much possible one should hide his ecstatic symptoms from others. But because of unknown reasons, it has been exhibited. It doesn't matter. But how much possible, devotion should not be revealed. It should be kept within.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा माता जी तो इन दिस केस तो हमें अगर कुछ भी अंदर होता है, कुछ भी फीलिंग होती है, तो हमें किसी से शेयर नहीं करनी चाहिए, राइट माता जी?
आप ज्यादातर नहीं शेयर करें उतना अच्छा।
अच्छा माता जी।
ओके। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। 23rd is Radhashtami. So let us prepare our consciousness for Radhashtami, chanting the holy name very nicely. Chaitanya Bhagavat class is very, very important. The more we study Chaitanya Bhagavat, we can know the glories of Srimati Radharani. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has appeared in the mood of Radharani. So for the devotee, which is the most important festival, more important than even Janmashtami, is Radhashtami. So chanting the holy name is of prime importance. Reading Bhagavatam, hearing to Bhagavatam is very important. Hare Krishna.